What is going on, Jerome's? So, the NFL season is mercifully upon us. And of course, right meow, you're seeing all of the NFL power rankings, but there's only one that is correcto, the most accurate power rankings in the known universe. And if you disagree with any one of the 33, yes, 33 listings, you are wrong. How does it feel? So let's dive on in. Down at the bottom, as always, as we always do. So you have the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers as well as the crooked Chicago Bears. They're just jockeying it out like who can be the worst team in the National Football League. And ironically, they play each other week one, opening up at Soldier Field. Now, I'm rooting for the Meteor. Nah, that's mean spirited. But if they could just tie, that would be fantastic. But the Packers, they have a great defense, but can Jordan Love get his ish together? Who really knows? He's an unknown commodity. Will Bakhtiari actually play this year? Will Watson and Dubs already dinged up? So I don't know. It could be a very long season, very long decade plus with the Packers. And with the Bears, I like Justin Fields. I've said that many, many times. And they surrounded him with weapons. They got DJ Moore. They brought in some offensive line help. That defense is going to be straight booty, man. Like Eberflus out of Kia Toilet, I don't think he knows what he's doing, but it's whatever. Hey, you know the best edge rusher that we had before we signed Yannick? Let's get rid of him. Yeah, Travis Gibson. Give him away for nothing, but it's okay. I think this is going to be a long season for both teams, and things you hate to see. That. Next up, 31. You got the Arizona Cardinals. They are playing at the Commies week one, so the Cardinals are clearly tanking. Like, they're in the bag for Caleb Williams, and they're just completely shutting it down. They're starting Josh Dobbs, who's been in the building for like 2 seconds. They're voted by the NFLPA as the worst facility of the worst team. They got to pay for dinners and all that stuff. And already there's talk about Caleb Williams maybe just staying in school if Arizona ends up number 1, which is hilarious. But yeah, it's going to be a long, rough season for Arizona. They may go winless. They may go 0-17, and that is actually legit in that regard. Next up, 30, Houston Texans. Now, Texans started from the bottom. Now they're here. I don't really trust Nick Caserio, but I like C.J. Stroud. I like Tank Dell. I like that they made a move for Will Anderson. I don't like that they gave up their first-round pick this year to Arizona because I think that one's going to be but DeMeco Ryans, I trust him. I think that he is going to be a great NFL head coach, and I think that Stroud and company will eventually get things going, but it's going to be kind of rough to start, especially when they're on the road to Baltimore to begin the season. Next up, 29. Got the Rams. So Cooper Kupp got that hamstring issue second time this this offseason, and Sean McVay alluded to that he may go on injured reserve. And the Rams, they really don't have much. So they traded Jalen Ramsey. They let go basically everyone. Aaron Donald just are chilling. They got the leftovers of Matthew Stafford. Cooper Kupp is hurt, and they got no running game. They got no offensive line. They got no receivers. Their defense is spotty, but other than that, they're really, really good. So I think that they peaked when they had Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips, and now it's just all downhill from there. I think the Rams are fully tanking this year. Hey, they finally got their first-round pick. It's great. Next up, 28. So I got the Carolina Panthers. I really like Bryce Young. I'm rooting for Adam Thielen, except for when the Panthers play the Vikings. And Carolina, I like the pieces they have on defense, even though Brian Burns isn't happy. I like Jeremy Chin, that they moved him to linebacker. I like Derek Brown, but love J.C. Horn as well. But I think offensively it's going to be a little bit helter-skelter. I'm not buying Miles Sanders. I'm not buying what they're doing along the offensive line. So even though they're at the Falcons, where division games are always tough to start with, and the Falcons, I think, are just finding their way on offense. But yeah, I think this is going to be a building year. I think Bryce Young's going to take some punishment, but I do think that he will come out on top and be one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Next up, number 27, the Buccaneers. NFC North division, NFC Central rivalry rekindled. Buccaneers at the Vikings, and the Bucs. So Mike Evans is done after this year. Chris Godwin is never healthy. Todd Bowles, I think, is just a placeholder. I think that they do fully want to tank. I mean, they're not buying into Baker, and they're not buying into Kyle Trask. That defense, I mean, Devin White wants out. They'll probably trade him at the deadline. So I think Tampa Bay, it's ironic that they're bringing back the creamsicles this year because I think they're going to be the yucks this year. I think they're fully all in trying to get a top-tier quarterback at the top of the draft and go from there. 26, you got the Raiders. Yeah, so Chandler Jones already saying deuces. to Ziegler and McDaniels. But they did get Josh Jacobs back in the building. I mean, they're pinning their hopes and dreams on Jimmy Garoppolo. Devontae Adams is starting to fade a little bit defensively. I mean, it's Crosby and everyone else. There's not even Stills and Nash there, but they're at the Broncos, division game, bad blood as always. And the Broncos, with stupid ass Sean Payton, may take a while to gel, but I'm not buying what the Raiders are doing. I think this will be a one and done two and done with McDaniels versus. Oh, this is the Josh McDaniels Bowl. I forgot about that. That's fantastic. But also, so Tom Brady is a part owner of the Raiders right now. I mean, Tom Brady comes back and plays at some point this year, right? Like Brock Purdy sucks in the Bay Area, or Jimmy Garoppolo sucks ass, and Brady has to sell his shares and he goes in. Sure, 25. Got the Falcons, where I do like Desmond Ridder, the pride of Cincinnati, and they got some great weapons. I mean, they got Bergeron, they got Kyle Pitts, they got Drake London, they got Cordero as the Joker, and Tyler Algier, the pride of BYU, is a tough meat and potatoes runner. I think that Arthur Smith is a good offensive coach, and I think Nielsen can get this defense together, but, I mean, the AFC South is wide open, and honestly, like 8 and 9 might win this division. Could the Falcons get to 8 wins? We'll see. 24. You got the Colts and the Jaguars, where Anthony Richardson. I believe in Shane Steichen. I believe in what they're going to do with Richardson. TBD what happens with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, but I like Pittman, and I like some of the Alec Pierce. I do like some of the pieces that they have defensively. We'll see. But I'm pinning all my hopes and dreams on Anthony Richardson. I think that he is a lot less raw than people think. I think that he will put up highlight reel plays. I think that his season will be very akin to Justin Fields' second season, but with more passing with Richardson. I think that the Colts are going to have a rough go of it, but I think Richardson will provide enough hope and upside for the future that fans can really pin their dreams on. 23. Got the Broncos hosting the Raiders, where I'm not buying it. Like Sean Payton has come in as like the Messiah. They're down 17 wide receivers. Their defense is a mess. Sean Payton reportedly had to be like, "Hey, Russell Wilson, stop trying to keep up the squeaky clean off the field image." But I don't think that Russ is going to rekindle prime Seattle form. I just really don't. I think last year was more indicative of where he is currently in his career. I think that the Broncos, maybe they won't be as a disaster clown show as last season, but they're not going to be good. They're not going to be good. Next up, number 22, Tennessee Titans. So they're rolling back with running back with Tannehill. I like Vrabel a lot. Derrick Henry's probably on his way out. Giving away to Tajay Sharp, and they're trying to get what's left out of Nuke Hopkins, pairing up with Treylon Burks. Where how many receivers just go to the Titans just to finish out their career? Like, Randy Moss, Julio Jones, Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson also played for the Colts. It's crazy, man. But I've been playing that immaculate reception Pro Football Reference too much. But there's just nothing about the Titans that excites you. I mean, their defensive line, sure, spearheaded by Jeffrey Simmons, but I mean, Harold Landry, sure, Byard, sure, but other than that, there just really is not much. I just don't get it. But who knows? Maybe they'll beat the Saints. 21. It's the Titans again. 21. Got the Patriots, where I do firmly believe that Belichick is on the hot seat, and it may be a spot where Belichick retires and Robert Kraft replaces him, but then Belichick gets a job like 2 seconds just to be spiteful. It's possible, but I don't believe in Mac Jones. Apparently, Juju Smith-Schuster's knee is messed up. What's going to happen with Matt Judon? What's going to happen with that defense? I don't know. But Philly. They're back at it. They're hosting the Eagles, and I think it's going to be a tough game. I think Philly is a very talented team. I think that they're going to take the Patriots to the woodshed, frankly. Next up, 20. Got the Saints hosting the Tennessee Titans, where, I mean, the defense is solid, but they lost their coordinator, and I do think that it's possible that Derek Carr could bring back that love and feeling where, I mean, Derek Carr, Michael Thomas, and Jimmy Graham, I mean, that could have been a thing like 6 years ago, but I just don't see it happening. Kamara suspended, and I don't know, like a lot of people are picking the Saints to win the NFC South. I just don't see it. I just really don't. Next up, 19. Got the Browns. So they're hosting the Bengals week 1. I feel for my guy Kevin Stefanski because I think he's set up to lose. Where the Browns, yeah, they added Zadarius Smith, cool. They got Myles Garrett, awesome. But issues with Denzel Ward, Deshaun Watson, can he actually be the guy that you paid $250 million fully guaranteed and traded all those picks for? I don't know. Nick Chubb is going to be in the backfield. Amari Cooper, can you get what's left out of him? I think that the AFC South, AFC North is going to be really tough. I mean, the Bengals are going to be there, especially since Joe Burrow is ready to rock and roll. The Ravens are resurgent. The Steelers are rising. I think the Browns, I think they might play good football and still end up fourth in that division. 18, got the Commies hosting the Cardinals. What a cupcake. I mean, it's fantastic. But Sling and Sam Howell, they'll see if he can actually be a thing. New ownership, giving some life to the team. I do like Ron Rivera. I do like Jack Del Rio. Also, offensively, I mean, I like the weapons. I love Scary Terry. I love Samuel. I love Jahan Dotson especially. And we'll see what happens along the Potomac. 17, Georgia. So the Dogs, back-to-back national champions. Can they do it without Stetson Bennett? Well, they beat the piss out of some pissant school week 1. But now they're hosting South Carolina, who, I mean, South Carolina got humbled against UNC the opening weekend. So Georgia should start out 2-0 and rise up these rankings. That's right. 16. Georgia. Somewhere. Louisine is smiling. 16. You got the Jets hosting the Bills on Monday Night Football. This should be an all-time great uniform matchup. And the Jets, will they be worth the hype? I don't believe it. I think the defense will be good. I think offensively, it's a patchwork of mercenaries, and it's a collection. I mean, they're trying to redo the Eagles' dream team model. And anyone with 2 brain cells who watched the Packers last year knows that Aaron Rodgers is washed. Garrett Wilson is a true talent. Lazard is overhyped. Dalvin Cook doesn't have much left. Breece Hall is coming back from injury, but he's solid. Offensive line-wise, I mean, they're going to be in a little bit of flux, but I think overall, I mean, the Jets, it's nice that the Jets have hope right now, but I think that they are seriously overhyped. The Bills, we'll get to the Bills, where the Bills might be overhyped too. We'll get to that. 15, you got the Steelers. I really like the Steelers. First off, I love Mike Tomlin. For my money, he's top 3 head coach in the league right now, and he might not even be 3. But what he did with the Steelers over the last couple of years has been fantastic. Using the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger, Pickett year 1, I think there have been great coaching jobs by Tomlin. And this year, with Pickens and Deontay Johnson rising up on the outside, as well as Najee Harris, as well. I almost said Najee Thompson. It's like, oh, I got special teams on my mind, man. But also with TJ. Taking care of things on the outside, and I think that the Steelers' defense is going to be great. I think that Kenny Pickett has a chance to make that big-time leap in year 3 this season, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Although, the Niners, it's going to be a tough matchup. At least they're at home, but also can Brock Purdy prove that he is the real deal? I mean, Kittle's going to miss this game. Bosa just signed his mega deal, so he'll be in the mix. But I think this is a very winnable statement win possibility for Tomlin and the Steelers. 14. So you got the Lions, low energy Detroit Lions. Now, a lot of people think that the Lions should be top 10. I'm not quite buying it. Now, yeah, their offense looked great last year towards the end of the season. Ben Johnson and company. I have a lot of respect for Amon St. Brown. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be really talented in this offense. They signed Montgomery. I think that depth-wise, wide receiver that could use some help. They're talking to Jared Goff about a long-term deal. Our guy, Hey Teddy, is the backup. And pass rush-wise with Hutchinson, absolute monster. They have, frankly, one of the best offensive lines in the game. But can they put it all together? And defensively, they had issues last year. They went out and signed a bunch of cornerbacks. They spent up draft picks on the defensive side of the ball. So can they get to where they need to be? It's possible. Plus, I love me some Brian Branch, man. That's the pick that really pissed me off that they landed. Next up, 13. Oh, not the Lions again. 13. San Diego Superchargers, or they'll be back in San Diego in 10 years, mark my words. But Chargers are hosting the Dolphins week 1. It's going to be a big-time matchup out there in L.A. But I think the Chargers could be sneaky good this year. Maybe not right now, but I think that Justin Herbert could have an MVP-adjacent type season. I think that they could essentially challenge the Chiefs. I mean, if they split with the Chiefs, I think that they could have a good chance to overtake Kansas City in the division. I believe in Herbert. I believe in. I don't believe in anyone else. No, defensively, they got a lot of great pieces. Offensively, I mean, they have the leftovers of Keenan Allen. They got Mike Williams. They got Josh Palmer. They got Quentin Johnston. Eckler's going to run angry because he wants to get paid too. So, and also Rashawn Slater back and healthy is very major for them. So we'll see what happens with LA. I just don't believe in Brandon Staley. I just don't think that he has that killer instinct that the Chargers need right now. I think that one of the reasons why the Chargers have charged so hard over the last year, blowing that playoff game against the Jaguars, and then 2 years ago screwing up the playoffs against the Raiders and allowing the Steelers to sneak in, is because of Brandon Staley. Like, I don't believe in him as a head coach. I just don't. 12. I keep doing that. 12. I don't believe in me and my cut and paste skills. Dallas Cowboys, where, yeah, the defense is going to be damn solid, man. But it's Mike McCarthy. Hey, congratulations for blowing out the Bucks in a whatever playoff game last year. But don't believe in Dak. CD is good. They're pinning all their hopes and dreams on Brandon Cooks, who's been traded 17,000 times in his career. It's the Tony Pollard show. Yes, he's a stud. Deuce Vaughn, I actually think could get some work there. But Dallas, and that's Dallas. I don't think that the Cowboys are back. I just really don't. Next up, number 11. I did it again. Actually, I screwed that up. Hold on. That's amazing. So I completely missed the Giants. I don't believe in that. Actually, I believe in Daboll. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. I think that they screwed over Saquon. Can Darren Waller live up to the hype? Maybe, maybe not. Defensively, I mean, they're going to try and get after it with Wink again this year. I love the Isaiah Simmons pickup for a song for a 7th-round pick, but was last year a bit of a flash in the pan? Yes, I think it was. And the NFC East is going to be extremely competitive this year, but I think the Giants are due for a little regression. Also, I'm due for some regression in these cut and paste jobs, man. Next up, number 10. I got the Seattle Seahawks hosting the Rams. This is like an extra preseason game because the Rams are coming in. They're wounded. They're a bad team to begin with. They're without Cooper Kupp. And, I mean, Seattle, I respect what Geno, the pride of West Virginia, Mountain Mama, did last year. Rose up, comeback player of the year. People wrote him off, but he didn't write back. DK is all up in the mix. They have the leftovers of Lockett. They drafted Charbonnet to go with Walker. It's a great backfield tandem. JSN is going to be great operating from the slot. Glad to see that he's going to be back from that wrist injury. Defensively, they're a little bit hodgepodge still, which is weird because defense has always been Pete's bag. But I think what he wants to do is he wants to run the ball and play defense. But I think that they are going to have to air it out quite a bit this year to remain competitive. But I think that they will in a very tough, not very tough, very top-heavy NFC West. Number 8. Got the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. So you do have them visiting the Colts. First game, Doug is taking on Anthony Richardson. But I think that Trevor Lawrence made a big-time leap last year. I think that he becomes a true bona fide superstar this year. And adding Ridley to the mix, signing Ingram to the major deal as well. Etienne healthy. I think that offensively, got a lot of toys. I mean, Christian Kirk is good too. Defensively, I think they're really adding some nice pieces. I think defensively, they're going to get after your ass. They're going to be tough and aggressive. I think Duval is here, man. I think the Jaguars are going to be legitimate players in a very crowded AFC. Number 8, you got the Miami Dolphins, where, I mean, the Dolphins are a very talented football team from top to bottom, but there's a lot of question marks. Like, well, first off, Terran Armstead's dinged up. He may not play this week. Can Tua stay healthy? Defensively, can they gel? Can they run the ball the way that McDaniel wants to run the ball? Or are they going to regret missing out on 17 different running backs as well as not signing Dalvin Cook? It's a possibility. Next up, number 7. The Buffalo Bills, where this is going to be controversial because a lot of people have the Bills in the top 5, probably even top 4. But defensively, Leslie left for a reason. And offensively, yeah, I mean, Josh Allen is going to sling the ball all around. Can James Cook carry the running game? I don't know. The draft Kincaid for a reason. Diggs is still a top receiver. But, I mean, who else you got? I mean, Gabe Davis did not catch the ball, by the way, against the Vikings. But, yeah, why waste a review on a catch like that? But, I don't know. They're going to score points, but can they stop people when it matters? Next up, number 6. But also, I hope they beat the Jets. Go Bills. 6, the Vikings. So, I mean, Homer in me wants me to put Vikings at 1, but can't quite do it as of yet. But the Vikings, the offense improved. The offense was top 7, top 8 last year. Defense will markedly improve from the 31st, the worst in the league under Brian Flores. Kirk and JJ and TJ and Addison and KJ and Kevin O'Connell. What more do you want? What more do you want? The offense is going to put up points. I don't think that Madison and Chandler is that much of a downgrade over Dalvin Cook. In fact, it might be an upgrade at their respective stages of their career. Josh Oliver is an amazing underrated signing, and they're going to put up points. They're going to get heat on the other team's offense and get after that ass, and this team's going to surprise a lot of people. They really are. 5. So you got the Baltimore Ravens, so the Ravens' defense is always going to be tough, but I'm eager to see what Monken is going to do with Lamar Jackson and this offense. Will he really open things up? Will he modernize it? And that's the whole thing, too, is like Lamar ran a very good pro-style offense at Louisville under Bobby Petrino, ironically. And, this whole Greg Roman offense really was a regression. It was, and it relied too much on Lamar, but now he'll be able to distribute the football. I think Zay Flowers is going to be a star. OBJ will be able to contribute somewhat. Bateman, if he can stay healthy, can be solid. Andrews is a top 4 or 5 tight end. J.K. Dobbins, if he's healthy, can get after it. So this offense is going to be really, really good. The defense will be attacking as always, and John Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in the league for my money. Next up, number 4, the Niners, So Kyle Shanahan gave up on Trey Lance because he wants a game manager. He wants an extension of himself on the field, and that's exactly what Brock Purdy is. But Purdy did benefit from some very good puck luck in terms of dropped interceptable balls. And is he going to continue the Cinderella story, or will he turn back into the pumpkin that he basically was at Iowa State? A good, not great college quarterback. He was Mr. Irrelevant for a reason. He caught lightning in a bottle at the right time. He did not make mistakes, and he did that. Where it's a tough game on the road. They do get Nick Bosa back, but with his holdout, how dialed in is he going to be with the game plan? How game ready is he going to be as well? But the Niners, they still have a ton of talent. McCaffrey is healthy. Kittle is dinged up, but will be good to go eventually. Debo is still that Swiss Army knife. Ayuk, I think, is massively underrated. Trent Williams is the best left tackle in the game. Will they miss McGlinchey on that right side? TBD. But, I think they're still a very tough out and will be very formidable in the NFC. Number 3, the Eagles, you lost both your coordinators. Next man up. And I believe in Jalen Hurts. I think that he's a winner. He's a leader. I absolutely love him. I think A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are a great wide receiver duo. That defense, the Georgia North defense, continues to get better. Yeah, they lost Hargrave, but it really does not matter. You added Jalen Carter. It's going to be that defense is going to be really, really good, and they're at the Patriots, so that's a bit of target practice week 1, and then hopefully on a short week, the Vikings can get their ass on Thursday Night Football, and we'll go from there. Next up, number 2, you got the Bengals at the Browns, where Joe Burrow says that he's going to be back from that calf injury, and the Bengals, they go 3 deep, with Chase and Higgins and Boyd operating from the slot defensively with Lou Anarama. I love what the defense does, and I think that they want to push. Their Super Bowl window is wide open right now. I think that jumping Joe Burrow will get his fat-ass contract sometime soon as well, and everything will be good in the Queen City. Let's go get some chili. And lastly, yes, Chiefs. Yeah, Chiefs. Now, this could fall on its ass without Chris Jones and without Travis Kelce. Could the Lions come into Arrowhead and upset Patrick Mahomes? Probably not. Mahomes with Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Rashee Rice and Sky Moore probably still put up 50 on the Lions. It's no big deal. No big deal. But that's it. That is the Week 1 NFL Power Rankings, most accurate power rankings in the known universe. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.